Hello, I am Majo Peralta from Paraguay. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Well done. And could you tell us a little bit more about Strange World and how much time did you spend to come up with the imaginary that was relevant to the film?
Well, we started around 2018, I think, is sort of generally when Qui and I started to work together. I'd been, working on it by myself earlier, just thinking about the inspiration for the story, being my sons, actually, and thinking deeply about what kind of world they're going to inherit, what kind of world I inherited. And so the genesis or the inspiration for the film was always going to be an environmental story told through the lens of three generations. And what does it mean to be a good ancestor? That was always there. And because I love adventure movies, I wanted to do a big old adventure movie like a King Kong or an Indiana Jones and have that level of action and adventure. And so that was sort of where we started. And then Qui came on board, and then we really got jamming.
Perfect. Great. Could you tell us how did you feel when you were writing the screenplay and how was the process itself? And was your inspiration Julio Verne's story?
Well, I mean, it was just a joy to write this film. Like, it is so fun to make a big adventure film. Like, it's the stuff that like both Don and I grew up with. We always loved making those films that we watched as kids, and so to be able to make our version of this that would also have to stand up on the shelf of Disney Animation was a fun challenge, but also just a joy to do it. And of course, like Don, like I also am a parent and a son, and so like a lot of the humor, like it was one of those things when Don pitched it, and he's like, oh, it's Indiana Jones meets basically National Lampoon's Vacation. It was one of those things that you immediately knew where your entertainment, the comedy, the emotions were going to come from. And so it was just a pleasure to put this together. And of course, it was hard to write because I get along with my children so well that I just didn't know what it was like to have a fight with your kids. So I really had to just ask Donald. I was like, what's it like to be a bad dad? So that's how that worked.
Great. And Roy, what makes this movie Strange World different to the others animated movies?
Well, it's interesting because I think that both Don and Qui are pushing the boundaries of what a Disney animated film can be. And at the same time, it has every element of what a Disney animated film should be. I think that, Walt Disney himself said for every laugh, there should be a tear. You have a great romp in this film. The action is great, but it also has a great heart. And so I think it really fits into this marvelous canon of work that we've done for the last 100 years.
Mm-hmm. And Don, how was the process of designing the characters for the movie? What was the biggest challenge?
Well, I mean, there was certainly a desire very early on to kind of push in a new direction. I love all kinds of comic books, but at the time I was looking at a lot of French and Belgian comics, and handed that to our director of characters, Jin Kim, and he got excited. And I mean, we knew it from the first drawing of Jaeger. Mm-hmm. He did like one drawing of Jaeger Clade, and it was like, that's it. And then we modeled that. Like, there was no iteration. It was like, Jin did Jaeger, and that is the Jaeger you see on screen. And so it actually was very fun and freeing for everybody because it was pushing us out of our normal kind of construct of our characters and pushed us in a new direction, which led to almost a pushing of the animation style because the characters are broader in terms of their proportions and some of the shape language. So it allowed the animators to push in a more kind of broad, kind of cartoony style of animation that's reminiscent of the 40s and 50s of Disney animation.
Great. Thank you for this lovely interview and see you soon.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.